Today we're going to look at NuTyX, which is a independent Linux distribution that's available, and I believe it's from France, and basically it uses its own package manager called cards. It's inspired from Linux from scratch, and it has an independent installer called install NuTyX script. And I must be honest with you, having looked at that installing script here, it looks like it should be quite interesting to get this type of thing installed. But regardless of that, I thought, let's go ahead, let's download it, and let's take a look. And looking at their website, their latest news, of course, is they release quite recently, and they do seem to be available with sysv and systemd, and you can do all sorts of custom configuration and ISO creations and stuff like that. Looking at their FAQ on their website, they talk about their mailing list, and at the moment their distro is not multi-library. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you're running the 64-bit and you want to use 32-bit libraries, you're fat out of luck. And of course, you are not obviously then on the 64-bit going to install stuff like Wine or Steam, etc. So I don't know if we're going to go through all of the pain of installing the OS, but let's at least look at the live media and take it from there. So local install, browse, ISO, NuTyX. There's different download options or different interfaces. I chose a JWM window manager. I'm just going to call this generic Linux. That should be fine. 100 gigs. And it is NuTyX NuTyX. Okay, let's just start. It says install, so let's hit install and see what happens here. Well, I am definitely United States. Install. Okay, let's just turn the install. I didn't realize it had a proper installer like this. I thought it was more similar to how you install Gentoo. Okay, so keyboard layout, so I use QWERTY and US. Name of your machine, NuTyX WM. Add a user, gosh, add a password, give this a strong password. At the moment we booted using sysv init system, and using about 700 megs of memory, no swap, very low CPU usage and low disk usage, and still doing it on my trusty Ryzen 7. Okay, so this of course is JWM window manager, and if I click here, of course I have all of these different options, same as if I click here and I get to the menu. So let's start at the bottom and work our way. So for change, of course, show desktop. I have a little audio controller here. If I open up the mixer, get Ulcer over here. If I click on this thing, I assume that's for updates, but nothing happens. And my network configuration and my virtual desktops. Over here, I get basic key bindings list. If I click on this, we get a terminal, which is pretty cool with NeoFetch. I'm just going to do echo shell. Okay, we're using bash. And I'm going to do uname, and we're using pretty latest kernel here, pretty new kernel, Linux 6.50. Cool. htop not I guess this is the file manager, and we have keyboard navigation, and we are using PCMan file manager, which of course is extremely lightweight. Here's places that has the applications, which is really interesting. We'll have doing it as well. Kind of similar to Mac, but let's go through the menu here. So file manager, terminal, run program. Firefox. Yeah, we have Firefox installed as well. Okay, so that's a launcher. Accessories, LeafPad, Nitrogen, Picom. So LeafPad is a text editor. Nitrogen to change your wallpaper. Some nice wallpapers, I must say. Picom. Okay. Development, icon browser, multimedia, VLC, Firefox settings, system, concave refresh menu, JWM configuration, so it has its own different themes here for JWM. So let's say I want a deep and dark theme. And I guess maybe that's what it's already running. System config, concrete chooser, customize look and feel as root, touchpad controls. It's really not a lot out of the box here. DOSA requires Picom, requires an internet connection, okay, elemental. Conversion. Default. DOSA. Oh, okay, this concrete chooser is nice. I wish more OSs had something like this out of the box. Actually a nice way of using Conky. Okay, so now that this is here, I must admit I definitely need more info from the website. So let's launch Firefox again. I love independent Linux distros and all of that type of stuff, but this is why sometimes they can get quite complicated, because they have their own sets of rules and their own sets of way of doing things that you end up sometimes having to learn more about them than anything else. Although the package manager seems to be quite simple, so if you want to install something, it's just get the name of the package. So over here I've installed Pigeon. So and Pigeon is actually installed. That's actually very nice. So how on earth, let's do man get TLDR get. No, so get TLDR. Okay, get Libre Wolf. It's not found, so can I do get search? Get find. Okay, so packages, do I need to search here? Okay, they seem to have a really small type of package availability. It seems to have a small section of applications, and there's definitely quite a lot of this to understand it and get it fully up and running. And I mean, you can use it just HTTP server, NFS server, virtual machine with QEMU, etc. I suppose if you want to get to use a more independent type of distro and you really want to go ahead and learn a new way of doing additional things, then this is a distro for you. It's something I'm sure if I put a bit more time into it, I'd become more comfortable with it. But if you use this, or if you have a really great reason why you think I should use this, or go ahead and do a long installation, let me know. Folks, as always, thank you for watching, and bye for now.